FileMakerTraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. I'm here with the wonderful Christian Schmitz to talk about the Claris FileMaker platform and specifically the MBS plugin. So FileMaker is capable of doing a lot, as many of you are already aware of, and if you're new to the platform, there's a lot of stuff to go through. But it is missing some. How about this? FileMaker can do a lot. I would say MBS equally basically doubles what your FileMaker database is capable of. To be honest, that math seemed wrong. I think it could probably do more than double it. It's insane. It is probably the best plugin that you can get, frankly, for your FileMaker development. It really enhances your database. It also enhances your development. There's a lot of features now that I am very emotionally attached to as a developer because it makes my life so much easier through MBS. Even our people in stream, or even the people in RCC who aren't plugin users, because you'll get like there's always a couple who are like, no, we don't use plugins at all. They use MBS. So it's absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend it. Christian is also wonderful enough to give us enough of his time, frankly, to discuss his plugin on many occasions. We had the 60th stream with him, I think, a couple months back, and we're past that now. So Monkey Bread plugin, is it .de? I forget. Monkey Bread software. There we go. You should go here. There is a free version. You should go get it. Frankly, it's not that expensive. You should buy it, but if you're like, I want to try it out for a bit, there's a lot of free features available as well. Anyway, I think I'll probably hand it over to Christian. Hey, Christian, what's up in your universe and what are we talking about today?
Hello. Well, today we are talking about writing Excel files without having Excel installed by using FileMaker. So, but first, before we start, you may want to go on our blog, mbsplugins.de. Then you can go to our Advent calendar. We post a new article every day about the little monkey elf needing a database for FileMaker. So, first article is from 1st December, and it's about creating a little database for the gifts around the world. And the first one even got a video. And then the next one is about installing the plugin. And once you have the plugin, you need to go to the day 3, where we learn about drag and drop. And you learn about how you can show a little floating monkey and how people can drop files on it to put in attachments. And then, day 4 is about adding general terms and conditions to a PDF, basically merging 2 PDFs together and make a new PDF. And then comes the next day, where we need to put addresses from the database into Apple contacts, so you see them on your iPhone. So our little elf monkey knows who's calling. And then number 6, this is wish list forms. So we create PDFs with form fields, so people can put in the wishes and the wish list, like you see here.
That's fantastic.
And so this is just a test. And in a future door, we will have an article about how to actually read the values.
That's really awesome. I love the theme of it, and I love the topics. So
it's a lot of cool things using the MBS plugin and FileMaker to build a cool solution. And on the end, you can, of course, just get the file with everything, and then you can do a lot of copy and paste and add the things to your solution. Yeah. But today we are talking about LibXL. LibXL is an independent C++ library which I, as a C++ developer, can use for my plugin to get some Excel features. And you, as a developer, can use them with my plugin to use the functions in FileMaker to read and write Excel documents. The first thing you need to learn is this is an optional add-on to the plugin. it's an extra cost, as you see here on the list, $200 per platform and developer, or if you're a company, there's a bigger license as a flat rate for all the developers. So like if, yeah, Richard Carton Consulting would get it, you would get the enterprise one. It's for all your developers.
That makes sense.
So you can use it on Mac, Windows, and Linux, even iOS if you want. It even works on the cloud. And it has a ton of functions to read and write Excel files. And so let's go to the documentation and go to all the Excel functions here. So we have how many functions? Just a few. Oh, there was a count. 435. And there's always something changing. We have a ton of blog articles, even some videos, and a couple of example databases. And that's what we're going through today. And maybe we can go and change a few of the examples and do some live coding if you have some questions or some things you would like to see. So you downloaded the plugin. You get this folder with all the plugin files. And let's see. Here for Linux, we have here the LibXL library, Linux ARM, Linux Intel. So pick the right one for your Linux server. And everyone else, please go to the examples folder. And there we have the library for Mac and a library for Windows. So, and we have the example files. So let's just take one file and open it. Let's see, yeah, it opens. So first thing, maybe we have an Excel file and we want to extract some text. And here you see we got a demo message because I didn't put in a license key. And we get some text. So if you don't have a license, you can try all the functions. There are a couple of limits from LibXL, so you actually buy it later. On reading, you get a few hundred values back, and then it stops. And for writing, you always have a little banner on the page to tell you that, well, you didn't pay for the license. So let's see how this works. First, we have to initialize it. The examples all look for the library file in the same folder as the database. So we ask here, FileMaker, where's the database? We convert the paths. We could remove that. It's outdated. Otherwise, we look for an FMP12 file. We replace the file name with our library name, and then we find the file name in the same folder as example. But the easiest thing is usually you just copy the library into your plugins folder, and then you don't need to pass anything here. You can pass an empty path, and the plugin will look into the same folder as the plugin and find the library, and then it will just load. And if you have a license key, you can pass it here. And once you call this after your FileMaker startup, the library is loaded and you can use it. So only call it once on the start or whenever you need it. And then let's start with a very simple script. So we check if it's initialized. If not, we do the initialization. English can be so difficult. Then we have a function to load a workbook from a container or file. So you pass in your file or container, and we load the Excel file, and then we have it in memory. You get back here a book reference, a nice number, and let's just go through. So the numbers are, well, here 19,002. So for all the different objects in the plugin, we have a different, let's say, number range. So our Excel objects start with 19, and if you use the plugin for a long time, you will just see the 19 and say, oh, that's an Excel file. But otherwise, this is the second one we opened, and the numbers will just count up. And don't forget to release memory later. And as long as you have it open memory, you can work with it by just passing in the ID to every function. And here we just pass get text. We call the get text function. This will just go over all the sheets in the file, over all the rows, over all the cells, collect all the texts, and give it back as a big text block. This is a function I made for people who want to have a simple function to just get the text, put it in a field, in a media database, so they can do full text search over the Excel file. Here's another thing I made for someone. Get in CSV file. There's no pictures. Let's see. When you load an Excel file, you have several sheets. So you can actually ask, how many sheets do I have? Oh, there's no auto-completion here. Book, yeah. Sheet count. So you can ask how many sheets you have. And an Excel file can have several sheets or just one. And for every sheet, you can ask what's the first row and what's the last row. So an Excel file doesn't actually store rows that don't exist. So you could have 20 empty rows on the beginning or the end. They're not actually stored in the file. It's just for you to see. So you can ask what's the first row, what's the first column, what's the last column. And then you can have loops going over the cells. Or in this case, we have a plugin function to read all the cell values into a matrix, which is a two-dimensional data structure, where we just can keep them in memory. And then in this case here, it just tells it, give me the content of this matrix as comma-separated values, with here semicolon as divider, and this is a quick way to get CSV from an Excel file.
So about the get first row, it's when you say that it's going to go to the first, get first row is going to get the very first row with information in it, not the actual.
Now it will give you the row index. So this
Okay.
will get probably a 0.
Mm-hmm.
The last one is maybe 20, 30. And
Got it. Okay.
I can just run it and see what we get. Let's see a live, you know. So I can hover my mouse over this. So count is 1, sheet, well, 0, yeah. First row is 0, last row is 10. First column is 0, and last column is 5.
Got it.
So we have 6 columns from 0 to 5 with a zero-based index. Well, let's go to the next example. If you have any questions, please post them.
We do. Rick Fosnot, I have a mix of Macs and Windows. Do I need a different version of each platform? I design in Windows, but I have 10 dedicated Mac users.
Yeah, well, the license keys are per platform by LibXL. So you would buy a Mac one and a Windows one. Or maybe you skip the Mac one and just, no, you skip the Windows one and you have 10 Mac users. So wherever people are using it, they should maybe pay the $200.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you have more than 2 developers on 2 platforms or 3 platforms, you start getting to the enterprise level, and then it's just cheaper because the enterprise price is a flat rate for bigger companies.
Makes sense.
So, but you can test everything, and when you need a license, you can come back and see what you need. So we can create Excel files in the old format and in the new format.
Ooh.
So there is the older format, compatibility for 20-year-old software. If you have to deliver your report as an old style XLS file, you can do that, or you use the newer file format, which is now common for the last, 10 years. And we have a couple of features which are only for the newer format. So So when you create a file, there's a little flag. Do you want the new format or the old format? And when you save, please pass in the correct file extensions to not confuse your users. Okay, so create a book, release a book, and in between do whatever you like. And we have here a function, a script to create the content. So let's see. You can add a picture, which means that you can add a picture to the book, and then it's in the book. And once you have it in the book, you get an ID, which is basically the number. And then let's find it here. Picture. And no. Oh, yeah. So then you can place the picture into a cell on a given sheet. See the book reference, the number of the sheet, the row, the column, the ID of the picture, and how big it should be. There's also the scale option where you tell it, make it, let's say, half the size, so it gets a little bit sharper on a resolution screen. So you add a picture, you can place it somewhere on the sheet so you can have pictures. The next thing is, if you want to avoid some text, you may want to have a font definition. Since we don't have a template file here, we create a file from scratch. We need to define all our fonts. So we add a font definition, and we define a size, and we pick one of the font names. And, well, add another font with a bigger size, and then colors. Colors in Excel can be specified on two ways. The one way is by index in a color palette. The other way is with RGB colors. Your Excel workbook can be in one of those modes, and you can switch between the modes. So you can say whether you want to have index-based or RGB-based colors. And we just pick here from the palette, which is the default, color 22. I would have to look up which color this is. Oh, we have a list. So this is gray. If you have RGB mode, you can have a function here, color pack, to make your color number for the given color you want from the red, green, and blue parts. Yeah. There's a lot of to know. So next we create another font. And here we pass in the ID of an existing font to take this as a base. So there's a hierarchy of fonts, font definitions, and we create a copy. Basically, we inherit the settings and then change one of the settings and so on. So they all get the same font from the top. Then once we have the font definitions, we can create format definitions. So in this case, we create a format for normal text, which is left aligned and using our font. Then we create a title format with a title font, and in this case, right aligned. Company format with a different font. Then we create here a custom number format. So that's something people ask sometimes about date formatting. You know, people in the US and in Europe have different ideas how to format a date. So you can specify how you want your dates to look like exactly by using here a custom custom format definition. So you can have like the date format, you can have number formats like this, where you have a condition like here. It's a smaller number, so we show it with just digits. It's a bigger number, it's a negative number, or it's a, well, even bigger. Well, different rules for different cases. And let's see, there is an original documentation from LibXL. where you see so different sections. So it's you specify how positive numbers look, how negative numbers look, how zero looks. And this way you can format all your numbers in the way you want. And here's all the date things. So you can make very fancy date formats. Yeah, like why not show the months as name and as digit for convenience, you know? So we have this custom number format. Then we have a border format. So your text format can include the definition for border. So you can define whether you want to have a border on each side of the cell, or just make a border around all the sides. You can have color for each side or for all the sides together. You can have alignment, horizontal and vertical, like here. And you see, it's a lot of typing because you have to make all those definitions. So once we have all the formats defined, we can start to add a sheet. So we add a sheet, we can give the sheet a name. So if you have different sheets, it's convenient to have them as tabs showing with the names. You can define a couple of options for your sheet, like here, display grid lines, yes, no. We can specify for the columns how they look like. So there's from this column to this column should have this width. And do you want to guess which unit Excel uses to define the width of a column?
Centimeters?
No.
I have no idea.
So do we have it? The width measured as the number of characters of the maximum digit width of the number 0 to 9 as rendered in the normal styles font.
What?
So the width depends on the width of the font. Value -1 is for autofit, which is quite good.
Is there a way to like just set, okay, so you can set the column standardized without?
So technically, this would mean that this is the number of digits you want to see.
I see. Huh.
But usually we put in some number and then we adjust it until it fits. So now next thing is you can also define the size of a row. And the row height is measured in points. So there you have a complete different number, and for some reason it's here 47.25. I don't know why. So okay, we write some text on this on the sheet. So cell wide text is a function to use. Row 2, column 1, which is zero based. So this is the third row, second column. We write some text and we specify the format, so it shows in big letters. We can have merge cells. So you can define a range of cells to be one. The other cells behind are hidden. And then we can just continue to write text into different cells. And here we write a formula. In this case, today. So this is a function call in Excel, which is executed whenever the user is opening this file. And we'll calculate the today's date and show it in the given date format. When you write a formula, we just write in the formula. We don't write the actual value because we don't calculate the formula for you. But we have functions like cell wide formula, I think text. Let's see. Yeah, here, like cell wide formula number. So you can provide the result if you calculated it in FileMaker, you can provide it. So some application like Apple's preview tool can show the value because it doesn't do the calculation. So we also don't do the calculation. So someone has to do it. So next thing, we write some more. We write text, or we can write numbers. So you can pass whatever number you want. It gets formatted with the format you like, and there's a format rule to format it as a phone number in the US system, with the first three digits for the area. Then we have here a loop to go over different rows. This creates blank. It's just to write blank rows with the border format, so it shows the border. And already there's a calculation, so you can build fancy calculations if you like, and you can build the calculation on the fly using whatever you have in your current row. And the calculations are always given in English. They are parsed internally and stored as tokens. So when you open this in Excel in Germany, it will show in German.
Interesting.
So, and yeah, we put in the raw string, so this will get whatever number is there. So let's see, what do? We have here sum. We just add here a few numbers to get, this is the sum of the items, and then we have, yeah, adding some text maybe. Then just a few more. Oh yeah, this writes items. Yeah, and then we are finished. So let's run it. Oh, done. This thing is quick. I've yet to find someone who can write a script which takes longer than a second.
Really? That's impressive.
So yeah, let's open it. I don't have Excel installed. I just open it in Numbers, or we can open it in LibreOffice, if you prefer that. So you see it. Okay, I don't have the font actually, but otherwise it's showing fine.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
Yeah. So we have the picture, we have some text there, we have some text. Well, maybe we should make this row a little bit higher in the script. And this is 47. Let's measure. Oh, actually shows us 61. Okay. Oh, we have 125 here. So yeah, about 49. Yeah. Seems to be okay. Do we have any question?
What happens if you don't pick a format for the font? Will it go to like a default font? Question mark.
Oh, let's just try. So let's see. Let's see what do you have here? We have here the text apples. Let's just put no format in. It should pick up the existing font of the cell. And then maybe I could put some more text into a higher number. So let's run again. And so you see, there's no format given. Just there's no format, so whatever is the default will show up. And here for the apples, because we assigned a format to the cell before and we didn't pass another format, it will just default to the existing one.
Got
You
it.
can also set format by row. So you could say this row gets a default format or a column gets a default format. So if the cell doesn't have one, yeah, gets it from the row or the column. Another question, maybe?
Yes. This LibXL is required. Is it installed with Excel numbers?
No, this is independent from Microsoft. You don't need Microsoft Excel for this. You don't need a subscription for Microsoft. You can do this without paying anything to Microsoft. LibXL is an independent company, and they make a fantastic library. We use it for our Excel handling. And yeah, you just need to have the library installed on your Mac or PC or server. Best way would be to copy it into the plugins folder and then just tell plugin to load it. Like, oops, where is my script? So you have seen the initialize script. Actually, for the server, you can hardcode it if you like, but usually you just go this and say, yeah, pass is empty, pick from plugins folder. That's a much easier way for everyone here. Don't forget, on the server, you have 3 folders for the plugin, so you would put also 3 copies of LibXL. So you're not missing it in one of your environments. Okay, more questions?
I don't see any at the moment. So
Okay, let's take the next one and see. This example here does add colors, yeah. So let's run it, export it, open it. So it puts colored numbers into cells. And in this case, it uses the color pack function to pack a color.
mm-hmm.
And here we have red. So this is from 0 to 255. So it's full color. If you need a color, you can take a color picker of your choice. For example, the one coming on the Mac. You have here RGB, and you can just move the slider to whatever color you like, or you just go to the pen and say, I love blue, go back, and here see the colors. And then you can copy the colors to 55. And then my red color turns into blue. Yeah, then I get this blue there. So, colors. Excel is old. It's from the times where people had color palettes. So next thing we want to do maybe is, what could we do? We could edit a sheet. Yeah. So very often you will have a template file. So you have an existing file to start with, like this one, where you have some text and maybe some format and whatever definition, for a report you have to make. Someone already designed a nice sheet with a lot of fields, calculations, graphs, whatever, and you just have to put in the data. That's a great thing to do here, because you can just load the existing book and then you write in your values with a few function calls here. And on the end, you say save, and that's it.
We have a question.
Where's my
Do you have a function
way?
to detect and automatically import several sheets inside of an Excel document?
I don't think we have that. You could have, of course, things to, as you saw before, we can load it into a matrix. So you can store whatever data is in the Excel file into to memory. And then in the matrix functions, you can go and you can push data to the database. So you would say here, insert records. Yeah, here's an example with CSV. So the key thing would be to get from the Excel into a matrix and from the matrix into a FileMaker table. You would need to pass in the list of fields. Yeah, let's go find the function. Where's the function? Matrix. this one. So yeah, here's a little example. No, this is. Oh, I don't have one with insert. Maybe I should make one. So it would read the cells as a block, and then well, we could make one. Sure, why not? Let's take this one.
I'm down to have this adventure.
Yeah, so we already have here an Excel file. Let's open it. Let's see what's inside. So, okay. This is some cooking receipt.
Mm.
So we have some ingredients. We have an amount and a scaled amount. Okay. Now, in FileMaker, we would need a table for this. I don't see my window. Right. So let's make a table, new table. Do you write that? Ingredient. So, and the ingredient would have a name, amount, scaled amount. This is just text, isn't it? Oh, there's a value and a unit. Okay. Let's say we also have a unit. It's the same. Okay. So in our script, we go and we see we would want to read just the values into our database. So first row would be 1. So we skip the first line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So last row is 7. So because I have to define the area I want to import. So from 0 to, yeah, well, 5. So only 4. We read that into a matrix. Well, let's just see if this seems to grab the right data. So next would be to say here, matrix insert records, dollar matrix, file name, well, current file table was ingredient. I hope I spelled that correct. So we need to have the field names. So I go here to look.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, name, amount, I think that was unit, then scaled amount, and I think we have unit again. So with our import, the thing is nice. If you put in a field several times, the last one wins. And I don't think we need start and end because we would take everything. Well, let's just run it and see if we get an error. Don't get an error. And we don't get data. Which means we probably got a syntax error. So let's debug this. No, oh. Yeah, we are in FileMaker. We may need to go to the right table. Yeah, this is the right table. I have too many open windows. Too many windows.
Those sneak up on you.
No, I closed the one. So back to the file. Yeah, this is the one where the container is. So let's run it again. There's my data viewer. Step. Encumber types in assignment. Oh. So let's see. Name, amount, unit, scale. Oh, what types did I give? So go back to database management and see what do we have. Modified name amount. Oh, the amount is probably a number. Yeah. Looks like a number.
Mm-hmm.
So let's change this to a number.
Oh, I didn't realize I could be mad about that.
Yeah, you can actually in the matrix, you can fix it because we have, what was it? Um, Too many windows. Matrix, there it is. So we have a function for this. Here, convert data type, where you
Oh,
can tell the plugin to say, I have a matrix, and in the matrix, it may be a number, it's text, but I need to convert it to a new data type. So I can change the data before doing my insert to whatever the field type is.
so it doesn't get angry about that. Nifty.
Yeah. Mm. So yeah, let's run it again. Step. My $R is okay. Yeah. So we should have some data. Yeah.
That fixed it.
There is at least a little bit data. Where do you see all the data? Scaled amount unit.
So it didn't pick up the scaled amount, but it did get the initial amount, kind of.
Yeah, there's probably something wrong. That's actually a calculation.
Oh.
So you see, we don't have the data here in the CSV
Mm-hmm.
because, well, it's a calculation.
Interesting. Okay, so how would you fix it?
Well, we would have to change our code here to, yeah, well, there's no text in the field, so well, we could read the formula, of course, but we would have to actually do the calculation. In this case, maybe, yeah, good question. And if I save it again, let's see. What happens if I save this? Oh, I need to export to Excel. Does numbers write in the values? Test 4.
Huh, it says the thing was converted.
Yeah, something was converted, yeah. But so let's go and import this file and let's run it. You see,
There it goes. Okay.
now this, yeah. So let's go back to my table and yeah, we got values. So the old file didn't have the results of the calculation. The new file has it. So
Interesting. Good to know. I appreciate the debugging. Helps me
yeah,
know
you
where to
see,
look for problems when I'm like, this isn't working. What's going on?
we learn something every day here. So let's see. What does the next one say? So this is a script to export from a record into a table. So there's basically a loop over all the records to write them all to an Excel file. So we have records in. So let's see, export. That's something people from time to time ask about. They need to just have a custom export to FileMaker, to Excel. So
Mm-hmm.
you can write whatever you like. You can define which tables to loop, which fields to write. If you hard code everything here, you can customize everything. But you have to do everything.
Yes.
So let's see. We have we seen this one already?
I don't think so.
Uh, so let's see what's inside. It's just another one to create Excel file, yeah.
Based on existing documents. Yeah.
The converter is another idea. We have the possibility to copy content from one book to another book. Also to copy content from one sheet to another sheet.
Interesting.
So you can, clone the content of a book you have loaded into another book you have loaded or open. This allows us to convert from old Excel to new Excel format and back. Yeah, let's see. Oh, I may have a bug here.
I was unsure if the original file was as
No,
brilliantly
no, no.
colored.
This is when you have one file in RGB mode and one file in index mode.
Oh,
And
interesting.
the index for color white in one file may mean red in the other file.
Huh.
This is thing with indexed colors is a pain. Okay, conditional formatting is maybe another thing to talk about. So you can have conditional formatting, which allows you to have text in cells, and depending on some rules, it gets a different formatting. Like in this case, we have bold for things starting with A. So if I type here a different thing, it goes away.
Huh.
So,
So like you implant the calculations essentially?
yeah, so somewhere in the conditional highlighting, and here's a whole text start with A, gives a bold style.
That's
So, and I code this into the script. So the thing is here, conditional. We add a conditional format, and this gives us another ID. We can assign this conditional format to use a specific font format, and we can say it should be bold. And then we can add a conditional formatting. We can add a range, and we can add rules. Yeah. So different rules give different results. Oh, where is it? Second script uses a color scale to give different colors to different values. The next one here has a greater than rule to show something in light green. So green background if the number is higher than 90. And this example also adds a conditional formatting with a calculation. So every second row here gets a different color. So maybe let's just run one of the examples. Yeah, there's my file. The test 2. Where does it save it? Okay. So here, that's a thing. LibreOffice doesn't, Numbers doesn't show me the gradient here. But if I find this file here, where is it? Test 2 on the desktop. Where's my test 2 file? Test 3. It's on the desktop. I'm sorry, I don't see it on the desktop.
It's having a moment. I don't quite know why. It said desktop iCloud. Do you have like another desktop that's hovering somewhere? Multiple desktops? I know that some
Let's see.
people have this feature.
I have, don't I have here heute, today, test 3. No, FileMaker was supposed to put it on the desktop, but put it in the application folder.
Huh. It's an interesting decision.
No, pop it on LibreOffice. Okay, so you see the colors here.
Oh, cool.
So it shows you the value and the color based on how high the value is. And if you change the value and you just put in a different number, or, this now gets red because it's a very low number. And you see if you raise it. So you see how the other color changes too?
Yes, I was about to say all the other colors are adjusting in contrast with whatever
Yeah,
the lowest
so
is.
now 60 is bad, and if you change it to 20, 20 is bad. All red, it's red. So you can use color, conditional color if you create files, but usually people have that in a template file.
Mm-hmm.
So, but let's come to the thing as the numbers 1 point. Why I'm selling LibXL? You know what is this? You know when you do an export in FileMaker?
Yes.
That was our table. Let's just make one. No, no. Yeah. Let's just export this to Excel. So we export records to Excel, continue, all things.
Mm-hmm.
Now I may point again here to, we have here our plugin tells you what you have there.
Yes.
This is something if your users use the export dialog, they will also benefit here. And it shows you the comment of the field if there is one. So now here's my exported file. And well, in this case, it looks good. Oh, let's go back. Let's change the field definition. Make it more realistic. So this is probably not a man. This is whatever. What would be a typical field name? Maybe it has a prefix, number,
Yeah. You add the underscores and then
and this thing is maybe scaled amount to receipt, whatever, and this is here
uh units.
unit from unit table. No idea. See units table for valid units. I know you have maybe a comment also.
Mm-hmm.
And, so this is normally not the field name you want the user to see, but if you export it, of course they see it. And the plugin now there's my tooltip.
Did it become
Yeah,
angry with you?
there
Okay.
it is. You
Ah,
see the comment is there.
nice.
This can help. So people get this export and they complain, oh, this is showing number underscore. I want it to show something useful. So people buy the MBS plugin, buy the LibXL just to change the column names here. How does it work? Well, it's not very difficult. You load the Excel file.
Mm-hmm.
You write some text into the first row to whatever column names you want. And then you save it again into a container or into a file. Yeah. This is the number one thing people ask about Excel files. Change the column names.
Yes, I
Um,
have had it pop up a couple times in my questions.
there's
Like
a
MBS.
feature request to have not just a field name but a display name. Something what
Oh.
is shown to the user.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense.
Yeah. So you can open it, you can change the names. Another thing you can use LibXL for is you can take an existing Excel file and open it, and then maybe remove some things you don't want Excel to FileMaker to see for the import. And then you can import the rest. So you can
Oh,
pre-process the file. This is
interesting.
post-processing, which allows you to do a lot of things. I mean, if you have an existing Excel file and you want to modify it, you can do so. Right, let's go back to an existing. Let's say you have one and you loaded an Excel file, maybe you edit it, and then you want to add some nice things. And maybe you can take a look on the documentation. What nice things could you do to the Excel file that may enjoy the user? I mean, pictures is one thing, yeah.
Hmm.
A thing I would like to add often is a hyperlink. Uh,
Oh, yes.
yeah, add hyperlink. So the user has something to click on to go to a website. And this can include an FMP URL. So you can have an export to Excel where you have records inside, and you can include a hyperlink, which then opens FileMaker and jumps to the record from Excel. You know? So let's just add a hyperlink. Let's copy this. So you need to specify the range where it should go. And of course, the text for the hyperlink, which can be HTTP URL, could be a mail address, mail to, for someone to send you an email. It could be a phone number. So let's just go here and say we want a hyperlink on, yeah. No, the column is B, the row is 16, and this is here multiplesoftware.com. Book ref, okay, book $book ref. This is my little variable check. Helps me to find things that I didn't type correctly. Let's say here tell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. So this would be a phone number. In a different row, please. Or so let's see what happens. I can run this. I can export it. And then let's throw it here. And is that my file? Or is it the last file, the old one? Where's my 2, 1? That's my hyperlink. Should I maybe put text into the row? Maybe a good idea. So, row was 15.
Hmm.
This is your MBS website. And 15.2 phone. That's one again. Let's export. Oh, here. Command click to open hyperlink. Oh. Ooh. No, no, no. Don't want to call someone. Yeah, but yeah, there's a hyperlink.
There you go. That's
So
awesome.
yeah,
And then, like you said, you could hyperlink.
I may want to, make this more visible. Maybe make it blue, make it underlined,
Hmm.
so people may have the idea that this is a hyperlink. So anything else you guys like to see? Oh, how was it? Here we have autofilter. That's the last one here. So let's export. So as you see, we see only USR, Switzerland, and Japanese. And here's a filter, and I can just say show all, and the list is longer, but the auto filter already filtered it, and it can also sort the items. So you could export a lot of data and then just tell Excel to show only a few of the rows. So Let's show how this works. We write some data into the database. And on the end, we say we want to have an auto filter. We define the range. We add the filter values, and then we apply the filter, and that's it. There are a couple of more options, like for sorting or adding a sort option. What else do we have? Auto filter. Yeah. Top 10 custom filter. Yeah, you can set a few options. Anything else?
No, just a lot of people thanking you. So.
Yeah. So if you have a question about any of the functions, please tell me. It's a lot of things over the years.
You've accumulated.
Yeah, a few functions here and there.
No, this has been awesome, Christian. We always get questions. I'll get random questions in my YouTube chat.
Yeah, we have a couple of print things, like you want to define how printing happens.
Oh, interesting.
Like whether you want to print the grid lines. Then we have here protection. You may want to add a password to a sheet so people don't modify it without the password, maybe. Yeah, that's it. So a few things change over time. We add more things like form controls. But if you have a question, please don't hesitate to send an email to support@monkeypadsoftware.de. .com may also work.
Thank you so much, Christian. Seriously, this is awesome as always. This will probably be a video that I will be referencing at many points in the future because I always get people popping in and asking, going like, "Hey, FileMaker's base interactions with Excel is terrible. How do I fix it?" And I'm like, "Go buy this." So, thank you everyone for coming today. I hope you all have a lovely Friday. Whoop! I can speak English. It's the only language I know. I hope you all have a lovely Friday, and a wonderful weekend, and I will see you Monday. Bye-bye, everybody.
Goodbye.